Hi and welcome back to All Things Online. For my last video I talked about the basic usage of TinyScanner. I didn't go quite in depth on how to use the multi-page or how to use DropBox and anything like that. So I know a couple students are asking about this, so let's go back into TinyScanner real quick. I already pulled it up, but basically what you're going to do, first thing actually I want to keep in mind, make sure that you have DropBox on your device already. If you don't, you can go into the App Store of whatever device you have and type in DropBox, and it should look like this. You'll log into your DropBox and everything like that and put in your personal information. Once doing so, let's go back into TinyScanner. So as we have before, we have my folder for notes. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the plus icon. Once you have that open, it should have the camera. And I'm just going to grab a little notepad. And what you're going to do is make sure that this says multi-page and set it to manual as normal. This is pretty much should be like the first video. Make sure this says multi-page. Most likely it'll say single. You want to hit multi-page. Once you've done that, you can take your photos. And the first thing that you're going to see is it's not going to change like the last one. It didn't take you into editing the photo or anything. It will put a little shadow icon of what you just took right where the arrow is. So let's take another one. And you'll see that it now has a little icon next to it that says, it will be like a number. That tells you how many you've taken. So we'll take one more. And it will say 3 now. And it will add up how many photos you've taken. So once you're ready or you've taken enough photos, you will hit the arrow icon, which then here it's going to look a little bit different, but basically this is just what is going to process from the start, basically beforehand. And what you're going to do is you can choose between any of these. I personally, if you're just going to do a PDF or whatever, just do black and white and do border detect. This basically does the cropping for you and pulls the document itself. So hit process. As you can see, it cropped out my little sticky note thing here. And if you need to adjust, you can. Still normal as like the other one. You're going to have all the same things. You can still rotate the image. You can change the layout and everything like that. But you'll notice that it will say like 2 of 3 or 1 of 3. It tells you basically what page, which image you're on. So once you're done cropping and you feel good or you feel comfortable with it, hit done. And it's going to process. Depending on how many you take, it should be fairly quick. It's not that difficult. It's not that demanding. And here, this is where you can fine tune each image. So if you need to darken it up or lighten it up, depending on what you want. My lighting situation is a little too bright. Plus it kind of cropped weird, but you can do all the same editing as before. Once you're comfortable with all of them, you can go back to cropping if you need to, or delete it, whatever you want to do. But once you're all done, you'll hit save. So here, you can see that it'll say 3P. It basically just means 3 pages have been taken and put into one document. So down here, as you can see, we have our same options. We can email. We would save it to photos, but this is set to PDF mode, or put in Dropbox, or you can hit more and specify what you want to do. So if you want to print it off or do OneDrive or whatever, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how Dropbox is going to look. So once you hit Dropbox, it's going to take you over to Dropbox itself, and it will ask you, do you want TinyScanner to have access to your folders? You'll say allow, and then it'll come back here. You should be able to hit Dropbox one more time, and there you go. So I have a few random things in here. So I can click on test and hit upload. And give it a bit. So now, if you were to go over to your Dropbox, I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. So if we go into test, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff in here, but you'll see your document. Now, granted, I didn't change the name of it, so it's going to be that doc whatever. But you'll be able to see that these 3 images have been converted into a PDF format. So we go back to test. So that's for doing Dropbox. If you want to do Google Drive, it will probably, it's going to ask you to log in, which I'm going to just log in real quick. Ask for your email or username as before, or wherever you've used Google Drive. If you don't have Google Drive, I recommend once you've done that, it will basically ask you again, do you want TinyScanner to have access to all this? You'll hit allow, and then you can hit Google Drive again, and the same thing. It's just going to show you all your files, and then you can choose which file you want and you can upload to them. So then when you go to Google Drive, you can see that document. Once you're all done, you can go back to your documents, and you can see that it is now just in your main documents area. You can move it around like before, so we can move it to history notes if we want, or we can create a new folder for it. I'm not going to mess with it. And these are always available. So if you ever need to, let's say you send it to Dropbox and something's not right, or your teacher wants it in Google Drive, you can actually tap on it, hit this little upload icon. It's like the second one from the left. Hit it, and it will bring up all your options again. So if you need to save it as an image file for some reason, you can do that, or you can save it in PDF format again and just send it somewhere else, or if you need to print it off. So that was kind of the advanced, quote-unquote, little tutorial for TinyScanner. If there is more questions, please feel free to leave comments down below, and thank you.